Hey guys, this is your warning. We do post up spoilers. At times we're relatively offensive. We use vulgar language. So if you think that any of those are gonna offend you in any way, shape, or form, take your step back right now. Cause buddy, this is not the place for you. Anywho, have fun listening to us, and yeah, this has been your final warning. Hey, what the fuck is up? Welcome back to Cinematic Anarchy. I'm here with Chris and Tom. What the fuck is good, guys? Energy!
Energy?
Energy! Baconator fries!
I had energy until I, clicked the button. I clicked the button, and we started recording, and then you're like, what the fuck is up? And I'm just like,
Too much
energy just left the building.
Just drained right out of my body, out through the toes, onto the floor. It's just a puddle.
Train of thought, hop the tracks.
Everyone who listens to this podcast, you just need to know that when we're done, usually after this recordings, we tend to roll up in a ball and cry because there's no energy left after it.
As Miss B would say, we have no spoons.
0 spoons.
Yeah, no.
Your social meter immediately ran out. So we're going to talk about The Pest today with John Leguizamo. I fucking love him.
This movie, as much as I laughed really, really hard, I had to put my head in a 90s headspace because a lot of the humor does not have any real position right now in today's, overly PC society.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, it's also it was designed for people in the 90s, obviously. That's when it came out. But it's one of those films that it brings nostalgia to me. So I didn't have to put myself in that headspace because I already kind of was there at one point in my life. So watching it just felt like childhood for me.
The only thing that I can really say is I feel like the initial criticism that they gave to this movie when it was first put out, after watching it again, it's been many years, I feel like they didn't give this movie a fair shot. So we're talking a movie from 1997. The initial budget for this film was $8 million. It only brought in $3.6 million worldwide.
Jeez.
And was pretty much critically just shit on across the board.
Originally.
I'm a little toasty.
Well, that was that getting toasty in the middle of recording here. Just you don't do things that make you cough while we're.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
I've just seen something here in the trivia. Did you know that John Leguizamo was actually bitten by a snake during the film?
Huh. Sucks to suck.
I did not know that, but I'm not entirely surprised.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean the film was fairly outlandish. So.
Hmm.
Well, it was also out in the jungle. Well, I wouldn't say jungle. Where did they record that? Film this?
Was an island.
They say on an island, but it was probably filmed in I don't know, some state with a lot of trees.
I feel like it was out in Florida. This, I believe they recorded in Florida. Might have done things on islands off of Florida,
Key West.
but for the most part, this was just where they filmed it. I'm not surprised that he got bitten. There's a lot of poisonous, venomous, and other things that want to just fucking eat you up. Like the story of the old lady who went out for a walk and was eaten by a crocodile.
She probably thought it was a handbag, and that's probably why it fucking ate her. Let's be honest.
Thought she dropped her purse, grabbed the crocodile.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all over.
Exactly.
Rolled grandma into the deep.
Yeah.
Dumb bitch.
So,
that's somebody's grandmother I just recalled a dumb bitch. I'm so sorry.
Right. I don't know who that story was actually about, but if I'm talking about your grandma and you're actually listening, I'm sorry, but it was funny.
It was hilarious.
Oh, God.
This film, The Pest, it stars John Leguizamo. It regards a Miami con man who agrees to be the target for human hunting by a neo-Nazi manhunter, and he agrees to this to collect $50,000 to pay back the Scottish mob.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Don't even do that accent.
Do it.
I can't do the accent. You have the accent. You do the accent.
He does it well.
I know I can. Alright, listen. I know I can do the accent, but there's no need to take the piss. Alright. I'm about fed up of this. I'm fed up of the representation of the Scottish in this bloody movie. It was absolutely abysmal, right? Because truly, when they ripped off the kilts, it should have had nothing underneath, not fucking underwear, because that's not how it's traditionally worn.
No,
should have been nothing.
Not the frilly women's underwear. You guys don't wear no.
That's you, Chris. No, regular Scottish people. There's nothing underneath.
Banana hammocks.
I do not wear frilly women's underwear. Lace thongs, maybe, Chris, but not.
Chris, don't lie. Chris, don't lie to us. We've seen your underwear drawer.
I haven't.
Tom, that's a hell of a trip just to go search through my underwear. I mean, come on, man.
Worth it. It was worth it.
Got to be a better waste of your money. My underwear, you don't want to see that.
It was worth it. I mean, there was some pretty frilly shit in there, to be honest with you.
Anyway, moving on. So initial feelings about the film. I mean, I watched it. This is like maybe the third viewing in. I watched it when it first came out, so it's been a while for me.
Didn't totally hate it because it's John Leguizamo. I can't dislike John Leguizamo.
No,
I love him.
Okay,
it was definitely a worthwhile watch.
Yeah,
it's one of them films that you can't not watch it at some point in your life. Like it's one of them films that if you're a serious film fanatic and you like watching movies, all kinds of movies, it has to be in your at least I'd say top 50 of films that you have to have watched before you could say that you're someone who's a fanatic of films.
Yeah.
You would put this in that? Like the top 50?
Yeah, your top 50. I wouldn't put it in the top 10 because there are other films with more nostalgic value, but okay, I say top 50, more like top 25.
Wow, you even narrowed it down to top 25.
Jeez.
I don't know if I'd put this in my top anything.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I like the movie, don't get me wrong.
No. What I mean by that is it's a good film in its own right.
Right.
But it's one of those films that's like you can't sit here and say, I'm a film fanatic, I watch all these, and you can't ever say you've never seen The Pest and claim to be a film fanatic.
To be fair.
It's in a... Don't you fucking... To be fair. Bullshit. No, it's a film that has the stud.
No.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
your first time?
So you can now call yourself a film fanatic.
Okay, fuck off.
But it has to be in your top... At least top 25 of films that you've seen. Not top 25 of favourite films of all time. Not
just
top 25 best comedy films. Yes, exactly. If just films that you've seen, it has to be in at least your top 25.
This is one of those movies that you kind of look back on and like, have I seen this before? And then you turn it on like, yeah, definitely saw this. You don't remember having seen it. And then you stumble across it again, and you watch it again, you're like, shit, I've seen this. Why am I watching this again? I forgot I watched it the first time.
Yeah. It's not a film that lingers in your memory, but once you watch it, it unlocks a few doors.
Yeah. Core memory unlocked.
So, this movie was co-written by John Leguizamo, also written by David Barr Katz. The director of the film, as I was mentioning to Miss B here earlier, is Paul Miller, who's actually better known for doing television, like episodic sketch show stuff. Like, he actually had a hand in a lot of the writing for the sketch show In Living Color. The Wayans brothers, basically, before they were the Wayans brothers.
Well, that just kind of goes to show then that he's got a background in comedic stuff as well then, so...
But it also shows
the film was funny.
In the way that this movie was written. You watch it and it seems like a sketch comedy, like little bits just kind of thrown together to be a cohesive movie, even though a lot of them don't seem to really fit together at all.
I reckon as a film it was great, but it gives me the vibes of it was like a film that was designed around a show originally. Like, I know it wasn't. I know there was never The Pest show.
No.
But I feel like if there was, this would have been the movie that they made for the show.
You know what this kind of gives me a vibe of? It kind of gives me a bit of a George of the Jungle vibe, especially when they get to the hunt.
Yes!
Yeah.
It really does.
And we all know George of the Jungle is just rip-off Tarzan, but it's amazing.
Okay, first of all, sir, yes, you're right, but second of all, do not talk shit about George of the Jungle.
I just said it's amazing!
Brendan Fraser is a national treasure.
I won't say anything about
is.
George of the Jungle. The sequel, on the other hand, was absolute shit.
Oh, fat.
It was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible. And I loved it
100%.
because it's absolute shit. And I like...
Brendan Fraser, it's like the national treasures of today tend to have, like, two off the top of my head, is like Brendan Fraser and Pedro Pascal. Those two national treasures.
I am determined to get us all to watch The Whale for this podcast.
Also Jeff Goldblum and Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is not just a national treasure, he is a worldwide treasure.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum is debatable.
Jeff Goldblum is baby.
He's on the fence in my opinion. But when it comes to Keanu Reeves is like the only person realistically in the entire lengths of humanity who I can see actually getting into any form of heaven.
Yeah.
The rest of us are all fucked. But he's
as,
just got to be chilling up there with Jesus like, what's that?
As far as I'm concerned with Jeff Goldblum, outside of The Fly, which he did with Cronenberg, he didn't really hit that cool guy stride until he was doing, like, Independence Day in the original Jurassic Park.
I mean, even in the original Jurassic Park, I'm on the fence about it still, just a smidge. The Fly, yes, but...
He was bad, I want to say, comedy cannon fodder back in the 80s and very early 90s. So he did a lot of horrible films.
The only film I really liked him in other than The Fly was probably Independence Day.
Hold on. Earth Girls Are Easy. When he played one of the aliens alongside of Damon Wayans and Jim Carrey.
I suppose.
And, you know, I'm a guy, Gina Davis in a bikini in the 90s. She was hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even still in The Long Kiss Goodnight, she was pretty good looking. Femme fatale badass.
Yeah.
I couldn't say much for her past that.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway, we got way off
track.
Again. As always.
So this entire movie is basically a cat and mouse thing between a neo-Nazi and a Latino con man. Neo-Nazi Hunter, played by Jeffrey Jones, playing Gustav, the German manhunter.
The father from fucking Beetlejuice.
The father from Beetlejuice, the father from Mom and Dad Save the World, if you've ever seen that garbage. Oh my god.
His German accent's pretty decent, I'd have to say, in that film.
Yeah.
He is also the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes, he is.
So, that
He's
right
been in
alone...
a lot of movies.
I mean, Ferris Bueller.
Bueller.
That right there is like some serious credit for the movie alone. I mean, he's probably just the back and forth between him and John Leguizamo is the best part of this film.
I was about to say, because at that point in his career as well, Jeffrey Jones, he was quite popular.
Yeah.
In a lot of... So how they managed to coax him into this film?
Actually, I could see him being coaxed into this film at this time. He was actually really prolific around this time, playing the bad guy in a lot of weird comedies.
Yeah,
there was the trifecta of bad guys. They were all redheads too. It was him.
Well, obviously, because he's a redhead anyway. So
I'm trying to remember the other two guys' names off the top of my head, but
so he did 3 films.
It's always redheads
in 1997. All 3 of them were obviously the Pest. He did Santa Fe, which he was uncredited for. And then he did The Devil's Advocate, where he played Eddie Barzoon. Which I think, yeah.
Okay. You got one past me there. What was that last one? Eddie Barzoon?
Barzoon, I believe it is. Barzoon.
But
Bazoon.
Buffoon?
Bazoon.
No, buffoon.
Buffoon.
Probably was a buffoon in the film. But
I've never seen it, so...
I mean, his career spans all the way down to the 70s. Like, his first gig, by the looks of it, was in The Revolutionary in 1970, where he played the red-haired, radical community member as Jeff Jones.
Okay. This is... I don't know, it was chaotic from beginning to front.
Yeah.
Beginning to front, beginning
Beginning
to
to
back,
front.
beginning to end, beginning to left, to right, to up, to down.
We can do
The whole
words.
I'd say the whole film is laid out how we do this podcast.
It's extremely
It's
eccentric.
just pure anarchy.
Yeah.
We call ourselves an ADHD-addled podcast for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
And that's how that film played out. That is exactly how this film played out.
This was like comedy on ADHD.
Yeah.
ADHD smoking pot with a couple of shots.
And
about
maybe a little
right,
crystal
yeah,
meth.
about right.
Little smoking. Especially when he goes to meet his girlfriend.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
No. No, I liked in the beginning
Unhinged
when he
as
was doing
fuck.
the dance with his mom. I liked in the beginning when he's doing the dance with his mom and then he realizes it's his mom.
He's about to lean in
As
for a
he's
kiss and he
about
goes,
to
ew! Poof, drops her on the floor.
Yeah. And then just runs off.
Runs off without even a thought. Just like, I just dropped mom on the floor. No, just whoop, gone.
Honestly, most relatable scene in the movie, him singing and dancing in the shower. Same.
Oh, 100%. That's how all of us are.
Oh, yeah.
I will sing in the shower. I am a klutz while
I'll
dancing,
know.
and there's no grip in my shower. So dancing is like taking your life into your own
Oh,
hands.
I'll put a full fucking, concert on.
No, Chris starts dancing in the
Choreography
shower
and
then
everything.
that once.
No, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
no.
I slip and fall in that shower, and the person downstairs from me is going to wonder why I'm in their kitchen. I'm telling you. It's a bad idea.
I just got this image of Chris dancing in the shower, and then out of nowhere from the heavens, the song just starts playing. Jesus, take the wheel. Just that song.
Can you? I don't think you can
Take
dance
it
to that.
from my hands.
I don't think I could dance to that.
No, you just be dancing to your own shit, and then it would just come out the heavens the second you started dancing. It's like, oh fuck. Oh no.
No. Okay. We can stop picturing me dancing in the shower now.
I would like that, yeah.
Yeah, let's move
I
on.
mean, yeah,
Okay.
that's a scarring image.
This.
Ouch.
You. Yeah. Oh my god. You're just gonna make me cry here.
Yeah, right?
Just horrible, horrible people.
Bullshit.
Why?
Bullshit. Aries Spears in this film was phenomenal. I like the scene where they get out of the limo because they've obviously pawned off their other friend to Angus, the Scottish mobster boss, and then Aries is just kind of there, like, or in the film his name's Chubby, but he's just there in the film like they're trying to work out seriously how to save Pest family, and he's just like, I thought I was your best friend, man.
Yeah, right?
That's what gets me. Look, not the fact that Pest family's in danger. Just
Right.
I thought I was your best friend.
And he also says you are my best friends. That's why I gave him up.
Yeah. That was good.
So yeah, I mean him, Freddie Rodriguez, the trifecta of them working together throughout the movie, honestly, was funny as hell. I like the interaction outside of the club where they have the musical interaction.
Yeah.
With the three frat boys who think rock and roll is the best thing ever. And bear in mind, I'm a metalhead. But even some of the songs they were playing, yes, they were classics, but I mean, dude, that does not excuse you acting like a dick like that.
They
Most
not only
rockers
acted
are
like a
metalheads.
dick, but they also went so far as to mock them in a Latino accent. So you have these white frat boys doing a Latino
Being racist.
accent to try to racially insult them, and they, Aries Spears and John Leguizamo, come back with a Beavis and Butthead impression to the white guys. So the most insulting thing that you can do to white guys in the 90s is refer to them as Beavis and Butthead, apparently.
Dude, let's party!
I mean, I would have gone for like the Bill and Ted thing before I would have gone for Beavis
I
and
am
Butthead.
the great Cornholio.
It's just a bit of the... You guys are harsh.
Oh my
Ah. Anyway.
Such a good movie, though.
god. Yeah.
Alright, my question for you both then.
Okay.
What would you rank it out of 10?
5.
5. Back when I first watched the film, like back in the 90s, it was very, very forgettable, and I didn't feel like it pushed any boundaries. It kind of blended in with everything. So back then, I probably would have given it like a 3 or 4, to be honest with you, because it didn't stand out. But if you put it up now, considering all of the... I hate to say it, this is funnier now than it was back then.
Yeah.
It really is.
Probably because you understand some of the references more. But
Yeah.
also, you have to add... Whatever points you give it, I will say this, you have to add 1 point for nostalgic value.
I will say this. The reason why it is funnier to me now than it was back then is because this kind of humor was run-of-the-mill, and it just kind of... pushing these kind of buttons happened on TV every day. You could watch it in a living color. You could watch it on SNL. You watch it here. It's all the same shit. But you put it up to now... And how many people would be absolutely butthurt, screaming and crying about this movie if you tried to put something like this out?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just laugh thinking about all the people that are going, ah! You know, pointing and screaming at all the things.
Time to cancel John Leguizamo.
He's apologized profusely for people. Now, this was the humor back then.
Yeah, back then it was acceptable because people weren't bitches. And I'm sorry for anyone who listens to this now who gets offended by that, but back in the day, you didn't have snowflakes every fucking 2 seconds who got offended by literally everything.
Right.
Bear in mind, yes, I understand we're supposed to be sensitive to certain things nowadays, and I completely understand that, and I do respect it. But at the same time, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, people didn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
No. You had an opinion, cool. That was your opinion. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to still have my own. But nowadays, no. If you don't follow everyone else's opinion, you're wrong. You're getting cancelled by cancel culture. And it's stupid. It's ridiculous.
You gotta walk on eggshells around everything.
My problem is people getting canceled for humor retroactively. Like, you can't apologize for somebody saying some stupid shit in a movie back in the early 2000s even.
Yeah.
You know, early 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s. People are having to go back and apologize for shit they did in the 70s. Like, we started to give a fuck more and more and more as things went along. And then in the 90s, we had a lot of this attitude of, we are going to make fun of everything. Because you know what? People get upset about this, and honestly, they shouldn't. I get this right here. If you look at it now, this is not how people interact now. You would get totally trashed if you're throwing Latino accents at one guy, and they're giving, I guess, was that white guy jokes back?
Yeah.
I haven't been the butt of many white guy jokes. I probably should be more often.
Or you have and you just haven't realized.
Maybe I didn't realize it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Omar's making fun of me.
He's just kind of like being like, huh?
I mean, I should ask him one of these days and just give him like, Omar, how many white guy jokes do you make about me like when I'm not around? He'll definitely be like, no, I do that right here. You're not going to just go do it behind your back.
Oh, no. Let's see
if I got something to say. I'll say it to your fucking face.
Let's see if he gets back to you, though.
True.
Honestly, nostalgic value, I'd probably give it like a 5 or 6 right now. Just because you look at it, this is 90s culture, the stupidity that we dealt with in movies back then. There were movies that were worse than this. That did better than this.
Yeah.
True.
So, I mean, this thing lost like, what, $5 million worldwide? Off of what little they put into this. It doesn't look like a $8 million movie.
No, not at all.
I reckon, in all fairness, I do reckon this, that if they got the film and re-released it again,
right,
exactly how it is now, they just upped the graphics of it, that it would probably gross more based off nostalgic value alone, because people would genuinely go to the movies to watch this just for the simple fact of, I remember that when I was a kid.
Right.
And it would make them laugh. That's where I think it would make its bucks back again. But even then, that you can't use that as justification for the fact it still lost $5 million off its initial release. So,
I mean, it could be just the product of when it was released. I mean, it was 1997, so there may have been better things to watch at the time.
Yeah,
things that are like,
very true, very true.
Well, if you put the Pest out, I can even look that up in a minute if you guys want to carry on the banter for a second.
Hang on, let's find out.
I was just thinking,
popular movies came out in 97.
Like, John Leguizamo wasn't, like, he was popular, but he wasn't, like, top tier popular like he is now.
Yeah.
Back then. Not in the 1990s. So realistically, it could have been overlooked because of that. Because like there is a few people in the cast who are well known and were high grade back then, but then there's a good chunk of it who are very like low grade actors and actresses who weren't as popular in the 90s.
There was a whole bunch of shit coming out around the same time. Like the Selena movie, fucking Flubber.
Honestly,
Flubber would have just blown out the water because it was.
Anastasia.
If you look at if you just look at the top list, 1997, Titanic was released, Scream 2 was released, Good Will Hunting, The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
You had Boogie Nights, L.A. Confidential, Lost World, the second movie for Jurassic Park,
Yeah,
The
this
Devil's
definitely
Advocate.
got like lost in the abyss.
There were a lot of classic movies. The only movie that I could look at that made a shitload of money that I feel, if you put it up against this film...
The Fifth Element.
No. Batman and Robin.
How dare you!
Horrible. But I'm just saying, if you put it up against this film, The Pest should have made more money than Batman and Robin did.
Oh,
Should have
100%.
made
So
much more.
I just need to touch back on this. How dare you insult The Fifth Element?
George
How
of the Jungle
very
also
dare
came out in 1997.
Ah! National treasure.
But if you...
No, we're still brushing over the fact. Why are you insulting The Fifth Element, Miss B?
I wasn't insulting it. I said it came out in 97.
Yeah, but you assumed that The Pest would have made more than it.
Oh,
No.
no. I was just listing off movies that came out around the same time.
I was gonna say, I was
talking one point while she was making another point at the same time, so much like we always do, we talk over each other a little bit.
Confusion.
Yeah.
So
It just that really upset me because I was like, The Fifth Element is a fucking treasure of a movie.
Absolutely.
we're normally a spoilers podcast, so normally we'd walk through movies a little bit more than this, talk about a little bit more, but when it comes right down to it, this was sketch comedy from back to front.
Yeah.
And so, outside of the one storyline that pops up in different skits about him being hunted down by the Germans, basically,
It's just all over the place.
it's all over the place. It really...
I'm still adamant about my value of it in terms of it seems more like a movie that would have been released to follow up a TV show.
Yeah.
Or like
I feel like
made-for-television
if
movie.
The Pest was a show. Yeah, exactly. Like if The Pest was like a TV show to start with, this feels like that film that would have been like they've got the budget together and they've went, fuck it, let's just make a movie with it.
Well, like
You
back
know
in
what I mean?
the 80s and 90s, they used to make like full-length features for television that would get turned into TV shows if they watched it adderantly. So if there a lot of people watched the movie, they figure, okay, well, let's turn it into a TV show. You know?
Yeah.
So it could have been the feel of the reverse, like could they have made a Pest television show? I think, honestly, if they had put a little bit more...
I feel like it would have been better.
Yeah.
A little bit better. They needed to put a little bit more production value into the movie itself.
Blend the plot a little better.
A lot of the costumes felt a little trivial, especially the costumes of the Scotsmen in kilts. The costumes, they were not very good.
I was about to fuck
Like
you.
I've seen people wear the uniform, whether for the culture or whatever, you know, and
Don't pass up on the frilly banana hammock.
This looks like they took a couple of tablecloths and asked them to wear them as kilts.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no flair to it whatsoever. This guy's wearing... Yeah. I just noticed he's wearing a suit kilt.
Yeah.
Basically, it was like khaki pants made into a kilt. I did not notice that in the limo the first time we watched the movie. So the big boss, the guy that's running the Scottish mafia here...
Angus.
He's wearing a kilt that's basically a suit kilt.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Suit vest with a kilt
And
that's made of the
tartan.
same gray flannel material.
Tartan.
Slay.
Yeah.
It's called tartan.
Tartan. That's not... I'm just talking about the material. But it wasn't...
That's what it's called.
But it's
called
not...
tartan.
There was no pattern at all. It's just a gray... Like it was made from the pants that you'd wear with a suit.
Ah.
Like they just like...
That's
sewed...
a skirt then. That's a skirt.
Well, they tried to make it look like a gray kilt. They at least did that for the humor. But yeah. So does anybody else have anything else they'd like to say about
There's
this
not
film?
really much else to say about it.
No, we touched every point we probably could with it.
I think we touched more points than we probably should.
Yeah,
No?
it was overall though. It was still a good movie. Still a good movie.
I didn't regret watching it. There's movies we've watched that I regretted thoroughly and completely.
We're not gonna bring it
to
up.
the end of time. This.
What was that? What was that? Gnome one?
What?
That gnome one?
Gnome? What gnome? What are you talking about?
Was it,
Oh, the hobgoblins?
No.
No.
It was not Romeo and Juliet, I think.
No! Don't fucking bring it up! Fuck you!
Tromeo.
No! God damn it! I hate you guys!
Not Romeo.
It is the movie that shall never be spoken about again.
Never. Never.
I think we should catch back up
both
onto it
of
and
you.
do an episode 2 and just rewatch it.
Let's go on
So
to
I
break.
can then review it.
I hate you.
All right, we're gonna go ahead
No,
and.
you don't. No, you don't.
We're gonna.
I can't.
Can I break?
Yeah,
Break it?
okay, let's break.
No,
Okay.
no, fuck no.
Well,
Get fucked.
I'm going anyway.
This is Two Chicks Talking Flicks, where we review movies. We try to dig deeper and go more in depth.
And profound for me.
Yeah, for me, I'm just like, what? We even bring up relevant topics.
I remember from Punky Brewster that you don't go inside the fridge.
No, and we're here to have those tough conversations. Mhm.
And she was wearing a white dress, which
was yellow.
Huh?
It was yellow. So if this sounds like the podcast for you, please enjoy. New episodes every Tuesday.
All right, and we're back. Hi, hello.
Hey, what's the fuck's up? I can do words.
And the second half of our cast here is going to be something we've laid off of for a little bit, and we've been itching to get back to. We are going to do our
favorite thing.
yeah, right. It is. You were kind of
Okay, Spooky.
demanding the last cast. Hey, why aren't we doing this? Well, dedicated the entire cast to listening to Megan. So,
I don't give a fuck. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing to do in this entire podcast.
So what we got here is we're going to be doing the Pitch Storm, which is basically us taking a few cards from the Pitch Storm deck and cobbling together probably the most insane movie that we can think of.
Yep.
Before you read out the first scenario,
Okay.
I just want to say I want the main character, regardless of the film, the main character has to be Bruce Willis.
The main character has... Okay. We're committing to it.
Okay,
we're committing to
we're
it
gonna
before
commit.
reading, because we already know what this says.
Yep.
I don't
Okay.
at all. I really don't.
So you have committed to Bruce Willis as the lead in this film, right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
All right.
'Cause I know, doesn't matter what the scenario is.
Which version of Bruce Willis are you talking, though?
Die Hard Bruce Willis.
Die Hard Bruce
Willis. Die Hard to, like, Fifth Element era Bruce Willis.
Okay, so
Unbreakable
basically...
Bruce Willis.
Unbreakable action hero Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Okay.
Badass Bruce Willis.
Unbreakable wasn't necessarily action worthy, but yeah.
It had a good spin-off though.
It did have a good spin. It had a couple spin-offs.
Yeah.
Was it? What were the other two movies?
Split and Glass.
Mr. Glass or Glass? Yes.
No, it wasn't Split. It was no. Split. He was never in. Well, he was in Split at like the last 2 minutes of it, I'd say.
Yeah.
But he
The
wasn't
after
really
credits
in it. He wasn't really in it. But Mr. Glass, he was like full blown in it.
But the guy from Split was also in Mr. Glass.
Yeah, because it was a trifecta. It basically was trying to say
Trilogy.
that. Yeah, trilogy. Sorry, it was trying to round it off, basically saying that Unbreakable and Split were both
in the
in
same
the same
universe.
Trifecta.
Yeah.
Somebody's been bitten on the horses. Okay, so here's the premise: a depressed vampire goes on a quest for the Holy Grail.
Yep, definitely Bruce Willis for that. Definitely Bruce Willis.
Director's
for that, 100%.
notes: our foreign market loves action and horror. Can we add more of both? Which fits in right with this. It all
Bruce
goes
fucking
together.
Willis.
Bruce Willis as a depressed
You
vampire.
can't tell me.
does
Not
depress
just
pretty
any
well.
depressed vampire. Fucking, he could just be flat out Dracula.
Oh, have him channel the character.
Nosferatu.
Have him channel the character from The Sixth Sense. That's all you got to do,
Right.
right?
True, but this is what I mean. No, like channel the Sixth Sense, but also like the character itself, a depressed vampire. The vampire specifically being Dracula.
I mean, what happens if he just doesn't stop being depressed at all? Like,
Even
he is
when he
always
finds
depressed
himself.
If I had to
at all
be
times,
stuck living forever.
even in the middle of high action fighting, just completely depressed.
Okay, so he's
Like,
depressed because he has to live
the
forever.
fights are
Finding the
there,
Holy Grail
like...
will cure him of his vampirism, so he can finally fucking kill himself and be rid of this bullshit world.
I was thinking more, there's an anime where this happens as well, where basically he's depressed because he's so strong that nobody can defeat him, and this is why he's depressed.
One Punch
because he's
Man.
like, yeah, exactly, there is nobody worthy of him fighting, so he's thinking that if he finds the Holy Grail and cures his vampirism, that he can lower himself down to be able to fight somebody that's worth actually fighting.
So
And
he is
throughout
depressed.
every fight throughout the whole film, he's like bitch slapping these people, and you can just see on his face, like, for fuck's sake, like, give me a challenge.
Okay.
I dig it.
So he's basically depressed because he can't possibly find anybody on his level to fight. So it's basically like a Viking Viking or barbarian warrior. What was I was thinking? I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah.
But
Basically,
even then, you could still put him in the realms of Vlad the Impaler, because it's like, even when in his mortal life, he was feared by millions for being the Impaler. Like, he would leave armies hung up on giant spears because he was just that badass.
Yeah.
But over the centuries, where he's thought, like, okay, maybe humanity's gotten strong enough to, like, deal with all this badassery, but nobody's giving him the challenge, and it's just like, are you fucking serious? Like, come on, you've had hundreds of years, and this is the best you can come up with?
apparently.
So, yeah, this is what I mean. This is why he's depressed. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was a vampire that had been alive for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, I'd be depressed too if I was like this strong and there was nobody who was like strong enough to fight me. I'd be like, I just better make somebody at this point.
So what we want to do is, he's not just depressed because he's lived a long time and all his friends are dead, you know. He's depressed basically
Oh, fuck
because
that, he can get over that, that's fine.
he cannot find a challenge. So he's so committed to bloodshed, let's say, that
Well, he's the Impaler.
without a proper challenge, it's like a warrior that never gets challenged. Like, this is just too easy for me to do. I need somebody to feel like that warrior spirit is being challenged.
Maybe that's also why he's going for the Holy Grail, because he's heard wind that there's a protector of the Holy Grail that's been protecting it for thousands of years. And in his mind, it's like, oh, a holy warrior. Maybe someone strong enough to take my challenge. That's why he's going in search for it. To cure his depression.
Okay.
So how about we go with we split it down the middle. The Holy Warrior is who he thinks is going to be the one that can challenge him. What if the guy doesn't present a challenge? Like, it feels like a challenge at first, but then it just becomes too easy. The guy doesn't have enough resolve. But it turns out, like she was saying, that the Holy Grail can also burn the vampirism out of him. So it brings him down to mortal level, thus the actual fights are now a challenge, like you were saying with the what you were watching.
Let's give him a comedic relief sidekick. Who are we thinking?
Matt Smith.
Yes! Absolutely.
Matt Smith plays... No, what's... in all the vampire films where you see Dracula, who's his, like, little companion? It's not Igor. Not Igor, I should say. It was someone else. Renfrey? Or...
Renfield,
that's it. Matt Smith is Renfield.
Yes!
Matt Smith as Renfield versus his. Well, okay, we don't want to do a direct Dracula Renfield ripoff, though. We want to do something
but
unique.
that's what I mean. Like,
But it's the dynamic. His little ghoul that works with him. Because they did something similar for, a vampire in Brooklyn, that horrible film with Eddie Murphy.
That was brilliant. That was fucking funny as hell.
But Kadeem Hardison played his little sidekick, basically.
He's Renfield. Yeah, he's
Right.
Renfield.
So...
And then can we make the Holy Warrior Tom Ellis, a.k.a. Lucifer?
Yes! Absolutely.
So basically
Like,
we
he's
have...
just there.
We have Bruce Willis and Matt Smith versus
Lucifer.
Tom Ellis.
I'm here for it.
Oh
Let
my
him
God.
play his
Yeah,
Lucifer
but no,
character.
but he's not playing Lucifer. He's playing like a genuine holy warrior sort of thing. Like
Michael.
He's full. No, I wouldn't give him like Michael status, because if it was Michael, then he's pimp slapping any vampire because he's an archangel.
Yeah.
Like he's like a lesser known angel, but he's still a holy angel. Like, have you seen the movie I, Frankenstein? No, but have you seen the movie I, Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
The gargoyles, they're like the holy warriors.
Okay. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
He's like the head gargoyle. Basically, like he's...
So this guy's a disgruntled holy angel, one that never got credit in the Bible, was always in the background. He is just pissed off, but he has to guard the Grail.
Yeah.
This guy that went completely unnamed, not a single mention
That's
of him
why
anywhere.
he doesn't want to fight. That's why he doesn't want to fight either. He's like, no, fuck this, man. I'm not gonna put my life on the line for this shit.
Right?
When I don't even get no fucking credit.
So technically, he could have been a challenge for Bruce Willis. Yeah. He could have been, but he's just like, I don't want to fucking do this. Fine, kill me. Whatever. Do whatever you...
Yeah,
that's why he becomes no challenge, continuing the depression. He could be a formidable foe, but considering where his mind's at, he's just like, fuck it, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, right?
My life is not worth this. They didn't even give me any credit. I was there for this. I was there for this. I was there for this.
I was the guy sticker for this.
No, like, the scene where Bruce Willis walks in with Matt Smith, like Matt Smith's hunched over, they're walking in. Tom Ellis is like sitting on a throne, like guarding the Holy Grail. Like it's like he's sitting at an angle reading a book, but the book itself is the Bible, and he's just criticizing everything. Like, I was there for that.
He was buried.
God didn't even do that.
He was buried as an angel for stepping on God's toes as punishment. Basically, Lucifer, they say, was a fallen angel, but he wasn't a fallen angel. This guy fucking pushed him. This guy pushed him, and God was like, I was going to do this shit anyway. You know what? Get the hell out of here. You're banished. No, better yet, go guard this cup.
What are you? It's like, no, God, because like we get a flashback.
I want him to be smoking a pipe the entire time.
And it's like, say that again?
I want him to be smoking a fucking like Gandalf pipe the entire time.
An angel smoking a pipe.
I want to get like a flashback scene of him explaining it. Now, obviously, there's supposed to be a real scene to it, but like the flashback is of his explanation, and it's basically just like Dad going, "Listen, you're fucking grounded, and this is what you're gonna do while you're grounded." Okay, like that's the whole like flashback of God going, "You're a dick."
Basically, your punishment is 1,000 eons of guarding this cup.
Yeah.
Now, every Christian zealot in the world is going to hunt this cup down. It does nothing. Absolutely nothing. But you are going to stand in front of this useless cup that everybody and his brother is going to knock on this door, and you are going to have to fend them off. Every single one of them. The cup does nothing. Remember, it is absolutely pointless. All of these battles, all of these fights you're going to go through, absolutely no fucking point, because the cup does nothing. It is nothing. It is a cup.
No, I want to see a scene where he's like, he's looking at it, he's like, and he sits there and he's like talking to Bruce Willis about all these like things that have gone on in the Bible, and he's like, you know, when the fucking Nile went red, that wasn't God putting blood in it. No, Michael pissed himself. Okay, that's what that shit was. Michael sat there and pissed himself because he was scared.
Okay, I'm gonna say this just because we put him in almost every film.
Oh my god.
Every film that we talk about, we got to get Michael Cera in there. So we got this guy who's pissed off about being the most unnoticed angel, basically whitewashed from the Bible, everything. He is so pissed off. There's going to be some guy that's even one step behind him every single time, and that's Michael Cera.
No, guess who he plays? No, put him higher up, but let me explain. He's Gabriel.
Yes!
Make him Gabriel, and he comes down and he's telling him, being like, you need to do this, and he just looks at him and goes, shut the fuck up, you're wearing a dress. Even Bruce Willis is just sitting there being like, yeah, lady boy, fuck off. Like, you don't even need to be a part of this. No.
Have Gabriel all fucking like awkward and shit. Fucking, hey man, that's not cool.
It's not a dress, it's a robe.
Right, just... But I feel like he's even one step behind him every single time.
Yeah.
But this is the reason why he's pissed, because this angel that's one step behind him every single time gets big mention in the Bible. Right?
Yeah.
So this guy who under normal circumstances would be the bottom of the bottom, somehow he ended up underneath him, even though that guy has been one step worse every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love
can see
it.
yeah, basically the
can we just
perpetual
make
loser
it
thing.
mandatory?
What?
Can we just get it mandatorily? Morgan Freeman has to be God.
Narrating certain
Has
things.
to be.
He narrates
Yes.
as God. So he's
Yep.
basically narrating the story even though he's controlling the story and he's a big part of this. He's a narcissist.
I want to break the fourth
Yeah,
wall and
that's-
have this dude guarding the cup
Right?
while Morgan Freeman's narrating. I want him just, man, shut the fuck up, okay? I'm not doing that.
Yes.
Have him sit there like just drop
Let's
whatever he's
refer
doing.
to him as like Rezekiel. Rezekiel.
Yep.
That's an angelic name. Okay. So Tom Ellis is playing Rezekiel.
Okay. All right.
No. We just had to
Just
give
need
him
a
a
name.
name other than
Ezekiel.
huh?
As in the rejected Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ezekiel.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. Ezekiel the rejected. Blah.
I'm here for
That's
it.
a lot. That's a
That's
mouthful.
that's his actual name. Like he does have mention in the Bible, but it's like so like overlooked, and he's just referred to as Ezekiel the rejected.
Let's have like the guy who made the King James version of the Bible edited him out of the Bible.
Yeah.
And then he realized what he did, editing him out accidentally, and decided to cover up his own mistake and just wipe him out of the Old Testament too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he has another guy like I took him out. You know.
I can see this. This would be a good movie.
But, like,
we need
I
to
want-
add, like some background supporting cast.
I like the idea of the scene she's talking about God talking and Ezekiel just kind of, can you shut the hell up? But I want him to just sit here rolling his eyes for a minute, looking up at the sky, while Morgan Freeman's narrating things. Like, this is live action narration, so he's interrupting shit, and people stop whatever they're doing anytime he talks.
Yep.
Just stop dead.
But here's the thing. Put this one in there. Nobody else can
some,
hear
like,
him
Emperor's
except
New
for
Groove.
angels. So only like Ezekiel and Gabriel, who are in this scene at the minute, while Bruce Willis is standing there with Matt Smith, just kind of looking at them while Morgan Freeman is narrating. And obviously Ezekiel does the whole "shut the fuck up, I'm not doing that." And Bruce Willis and Matt Smith are like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" Just thinking he's insane.
Right?
I love it.
It's like, I'm talking to God.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of dangerous to stop in the middle of a fight to fucking roll your eyes at God.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you just stop for a second and just, man, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do shit over here.
And that's when he gives up, just puts it aside. All right, you know what, kill me.
We need to add a love interest in that. Something obviously happens to this person
Jude Law.
that makes Bruce Willis go off the hinge.
Jude Law is
Jude
Bruce
Law.
Willis's love interest?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen Bruce Willis do anything gay.
That's okay.
I don't think... That's... Well,
There's
no,
a first
that'd
for
be
everything.
outside of the box. We like doing that,
There's
outside
a
of the
first
box.
for everything.
I was thinking more like Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
See, I could see that a little bit more across from Bruce Willis. I
Yeah.
think I would have a tough time seeing Jude Law in this kind of film, even if it's a little weird.
I mean, he did
It's a
play an
comedy.
Archangel.
He did, but I don't like Jude
In
Law as a
Legion?
comedian. I liked him in a couple of action things, but
Was
I
that
didn't like
Jude
him
Law?
as a comedian. No, I don't think that was Jude Law.
In Legion?
Was it? I
Was
don't
it?
know. I don't think it was Jude Law.
I
in
think
Legion.
it was.
Could be.
Jude Law played Vision, didn't he?
No, Jude Law is not Vision.
No, I was wrong. It's
No.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany was the one that played Vision.
Yeah.
And the guy from Legion.
Jude Law has pretty much fallen off. I mean, he's done a few things here and there, but you don't see him much anymore.
No.
I
didn't hate him in Repo Man.
No, I didn't hate him in that either. He did a couple things. I think there was a movie called Alfie or something like that.
Yes, it was a remake of the original one with, I forgot his fucking name.
But that's about
But
the
it was
time when he
good.
did that film. That was around the time that he sort of fell off with the States. Like, he wasn't doing much anymore. There was that one thing that he did with Repo Man, I think that was after that. But he hasn't been doing as much.
Yeah.
I guess, like, his name hasn't drawn enough box office. Maybe because he's not attached to the right project.
Let's find out.
Across
if he's got
from
any
Bruce Willis.
new stuff coming out.
No. We're looking up Jude Law now?
Wait. We need to put Jude Law in it as well
He
somehow.
was in Fantastic Beasts: Secret of Dumbledore.
Well then who did we agree on as the love interest?
Jude Law was Dumbledore.
Pedro Pascal. No, Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal is... This is an all-male cast, but for a good reason.
Jude Law as Michael. Like, I want Michael to come down and just kind of, like, put an end to all this shit that's going on.
I want to have Matt Smith be madly in love with Bruce Willis.
I love it.
He has to be, because he's the Renfield.
He's basically the Renfield, the ghoul that does all his stuff. Right? So he sees Pedro Pascal as a direct rival the entire time, trying to sabotage everything.
But wait, can we make Pedro Pascal like completely oblivious to everything in terms of the love interest thing? So like he thinks it's just like a homie, and like Bruce Willis is just there like,
thinks that all these different things that Pedro Pascal is just doing out of normal courtesy is all romantic interaction. So
yes, 100%.
His beer goggles are on like 100% of the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Love it.
So like
I can see it because he'd be like when it reaches that point where like Bruce Willis like takes his hands and just like confesses his love. Pedro's like, what?
So here's what I think. During the entire movie, we're gonna have this is gonna be the talk about the actual movie, but then also an end scene, credit scene. Think something that rolls over the actual or under the credits. So the entire movie we're cutting back and forth between what are normal interactions, what should look like normal interactions. So he goes to do a romantic action, and then we see it through Bruce Willis's eyes, this massive kind of fever dream romantic flourish every single basic interaction. But you don't see the basic interaction. Then at the end of the film,
what you see at the end credits,
at the end credits, you see all of the romantic interactions, which are just basic, like, bro moments.
Yeah.
You know, at best.
I love it. Fuck yeah.
So it's just Pedro Pascal doing, like, you know, just kind of being a bro, you know? And Bruce Willis is mistaking every single one of these like he's on some sort of acid trip, seeing these massive romantic flourishes.
And can we make, like, an aggressive love interest of someone who's in love with, other than Renfield, but, like, it's a she, so we put a female cast in there. She loves Bruce Willis, but she's, like, fed up of all this fighting bullshit that he wants to do.
Fran Drescher.
Like, she's another vampire.
Fran Drescher is a vampire?
I want her to be obnoxious.
Do you not know who Fran Drescher is? The nanny?
I'm Googling it.
You ever watch Friends? Oh my god, Chandler!
Yes.
Okay, wait, no, hold on.
And
That's
she
not the same
speaks in
girl.
that accent.
That's not the same girl.
No, isn't.
No.
It?
Yeah,
it's the same accent.
Like,
Yeah. That
but yeah, no, that
like
accent, that's the accent she has to have in this film.
Sorry, Janice is a direct... It was. I think she actually was trying to channel Fran Drescher. So I believe that's what the actress had said.
No. Every time she sees him, she's like, "Oh my god, Vlad!" Like that's how she speaks to him.
Oh my god,
Vlad! Yes, exactly.
So she's just this girl that...
Please just fucking pay attention to me for once. Jeez.
So she's actually in love with him. He's in love with Pedro, and Pedro's oblivious.
Yes. In fact, no, make it as a triangle. Pedro's in love with her.
Pedro Pascal's channeling fucking golden retriever energy.
And he only...
Just happy-go-lucky fucking dumbass.
What if, basically, Bruce Willis at one point dated her once, like years back.
And she just wouldn't leave it alone.
Now she is...
Like back in, like, the 18th century.
Right. Like, way back. So basically, she's fallen in love with the Pedro Pascal character, and they were seeing each other. She's delusional because she's in love with the Bruce Willis character, the depressed vampire. He's in love with Pedro, and Pedro's still in love with her, even though she wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So the triangle, like you were saying.
Yeah.
That's why he's stuck around, like, Bruce Willis as a vampire, like, because he wants to get to her, so he's thinking, if I'm cool with this dude, I can get back with her. But it's like a whole clusterfuck.
Okay, I can see that.
Because otherwise, why is he going to be hanging around with this fucking old vampire who's depressed? Okay, let's be realistic. Even if he's got golden retriever energy, he's got to have a reason.
So, what I'm seeing now, the end of the movie, to end this all, I think the fight scene between Ellis and him should be the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Them having what starts to be an epic fight that deteriorates after God interrupts and starts narrating things, because Ellis just stops in the middle of things and is just like, what the fuck, man? I mean...
Yeah, but no, I was going to say, Bruce Willis is like, why are you stopping? And then Ellis touches him on the forehead so he can hear God as well.
Yes!
Right.
And he also looks up and goes, dude, shut the fuck up.
So
we're trying to fight.
Let's make this a big mistake. Okay. So he touches him on the head so he can hear God as well. At this point, he's still hunting for the Holy Grail, the cup that does nothing, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is happening at this point because they've stopped fighting. This guy touching him on the head, Tom Ellis touching him on the head, not only allows him to hear God, but has just cleansed him completely.
Yeah.
So he is now basically the equivalent of a mortal prophet, because he can now hear God, and his vampirism has been wiped clean.
And he stops and he looks at fucking dude and... I get it now.
Nothing happens at this point, though, so he doesn't know that he's been cleared of the vampirism. He just knows that some parlor trick, now he can hear this guy who's just booming in the skies, you know? So when he finally has that whole discussion... Oh, go ahead.
So go ahead.
When he has that whole discussion with Tom Ellis about, fuck this, I'm not going to fight anymore, blah, 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 Tom Ellis is now not even fighting. Yes, we have Bruce Willis, who wants to continue to fight. This guy doesn't want to fight, so he doesn't know that he's been cleared of his mortality yet. Or I should say, cleared of his vampirism and is now mortal. Jeez. You got a little bit of that in my space. Oh, boy. So...
We're hitting the dab pen, buddy!
Well, you're hitting it, and I'm inhaling what you hit. Which is the reason for the little cough. My God, I am so sorry.
Contact high. Shit's spicy.
Yeah, a little. So when he goes and actually gets the Grail, and Ellis comes up behind him and actually does his job, like, last second, after Bruce Willis thinks he's completely convinced, yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing this shit anymore. He goes, you know what? Stabs him straight through the...
Bruce Willis is just fucking giggling.
I don't.
Shit.
Not a stab. I want to see him like pick up the Holy Grail, and be like, yes, I have it, and then Ellis like smacks him, and then it becomes like a scene out of the Hulk, like in the Avengers movie, where Bruce Willis is just like lying there in rubble, just going.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
That would be so much funnier.
Okay.
Like he's there thinking others immortal, and then it's like, why am I not healing? Oh, this hurts.
See, I was thinking about ending the movie right there, just killing him. That's why I was saying
that kind of would kill him. No, because this is how the movie ends. Fucking Matt Smith and I forgot her fucking name already, but the female vampire love interest. They both run over to him, like holding his hand, like just hold on a little bit longer, and he's like, finally a worthy battle, and then just dies there.
Just dies.
What is her fucking name?
Fran Drescher, you just said her.
Was it Fran?
We were talking Fran Drescher.
No, Maggie Wheeler.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you want Maggie Wheeler.
Do we want Fran or do we want Maggie? Maggie's
I would say that Maggie would have more of a pull too.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people really like Fran Drescher, but everybody remembers Janice.
Are you kidding me? Okay, first of all, we are not going to disrespect Fran Drescher like that. She is a fucking fashion icon!
Comedic?
But goddamn, that bitch can dress.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Both of them run to his aid. Both of them run to his aid. And that's when he dies there and then.
Right.
And then you can like roll credits and then show all this sort of stuff.
All this.
But in fact, as he's dying and says a worthy fight, he tries to call Pedro over. And Pedro's just like, yeah, no, I'm good, bro.
That's when Pedro just kind of kneels down and gets really close, and Bruce Willis is seeing like what he thinks is another romantic interaction. He's about to kiss Bruce Willis. No, look, Bruce Willis is about to kiss him as he's leaning down to tell him basically everything he knows or thought is wrong about the interactions between them. Bruce Willis comes up for a kiss. Pedro just puts his hand on his forehead and pushes him back down. No.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
And he goes, all this shit that you thought was going on, and then the credits start to roll, and you have all the bro interactions. This is what he's telling
Yeah.
Bruce Willis as he's dying, and Bruce Willis dies during the credits.
Can we just get like a right after credit scene, like after all of this, a very after credit scene, just Tom Ellis just kind of like it cuts to them, like Bruce Willis is dead, they're all huddled around his body, and then Tom Ellis just kind of says, "Now, can you get the fuck out of here, please?"
Yeah.
No,
And then it's like black screen
because they've all left. All you got left is Bruce Willis just laying in the rubble, and he's like, "Is somebody going to clean this shit up? Do I have to do this?" Oh, fuck.
Oh no! He calls Gabriel. Bitch boy.
I know who's going to clean this shit. Down here.
All
And then
right.
then it pans out into like the sky, and Morgan Freeman's just there, like closing the book.
Right. Yeah.
Then that.
Why do I bother?
And then the title of the book is the title of the film. You know, like how they do it lately,
Yeah.
where the title of the movie comes right at the very end
Princess
of the film.
Bride.
We're going to give this like the full retro, like early 90s treatment, because that's
Yep.
how they did a lot of things in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, yeah.
It doesn't feel like a 90s film. I think that comes out of us watching this freaking movie.
It's giving Monty Python, to be honest.
Like
So
a
we've
Monty
done
Python.
one.
Yeah.
Was there a second card, or is that the only one?
Oh no, that's the one. That's the one for today. That'll be all.
Okay.
We've met our time limits and we're going to go now. I started with an accent and couldn't commit to it.
Yeah, no.
No.
Tom's the only one that can commit.
Come on.
Yes, sir. What would you like me to see?
Yeah!
All right, well, I'll send us off and just say thank you, everybody, for watching. Please stay tuned for the next time we have an episode, and have a great day, and stay hydrated.
Drink some fucking water, you thirsty bitches!